beautiful rainforest friends. Welcome to or welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here with me today. And I do want to give a shout out to all of those subscribers that have subscribed to my channel so far, who have commented and who have liked my videos. It really motivates me to keep offering these messages and to keep doing videos for you in order to help you find guidance, clarity, or help you grow personally or spiritually. So thank you so much. It is my pleasure and honor to do this work for you. Thank you for being here with me today in this reading. My name is Amanda, illustrator by day and intuitive reader by night. Before we get into this reading, feel free to grab a tea, sit back, relax, and let the stress of the day go as you dive into the readings for today. So we're going to be looking at what messages Spirit, the universe, your guides have for you today. And we're going to be pulling 3 cards from the Wisdom of the Oracle. I hope this reading offers you some insight, guidance, and clarity. Keep in mind, this reading is general, so naturally it will not resonate with everyone. Take what resonates and leave the rest for someone else. These cards are also not predictive of the future due to the fluid nature of life, individual circumstances, and your own free will. So let's draw the last 2 cards and let's get into the piles. All right, so let's fill in this one. All right, so pile 1, you have message in a bottle associated with the number 15. For pile number 2, you have between worlds associated with the number 3. And for the pile 3, the third pile, we have Treasure Island associated with number 9. I'm loving the color scheme in today's cards. It's absolutely beautiful energy. It makes me feel like I want to go on a tropical vacation. So if you need to pause the video, please do so now, and we will see you in your reading. Hello, pile 1. Welcome to your reading. So you chose message in a bottle, number 15. So 15 could be a lucky number for you. It could be a birthday. It could even be your age. I'm not too sure. I get a sense that you have or will be receiving some kind of communication, possibly from afar, maybe from overseas, over the water, from somebody from a distance through it's either going to be a phone call, an email, a letter, but it is going to be good news. This could also be some kind of symbolism here. I feel like the universe might be throwing some messages your way that you have to be more in tune with. Synchronicities, symbolism. Are there, white feathers around you, birds that speak to you, ocean creatures that speak to you that you're coming across in interesting places? Things that aren't supposed to be there that are there, those kind of strange kind of one-off synchronicities, and that you should be noticing but you aren't noticing right now. So it could mean a number of communications on different levels, both spiritual and actual material messages. So let's see what this message might be about. Okay, so we're going to start there and just pull from the top. You have the 4 of Swords. This could be related to vacation. This could be suggesting that you need a vacation to a faraway land, a tropical island. You need a rest, you need a break, because you've been doing a lot of things right now. We'll continue with the cards, but there is a suggestion of you needing a rest, you needing a break from the action, a bit of a respite from the things that you've been working on, trying to achieve, trying to push ahead on. Knight of Wands. card of passion, a card of movement. So it's definitely, there is a suggestion here to kind of check in with those things that fire you up. And what have you been kind of obsessed with lately? What kind of places or things or activities have you really been enjoying that you don't have enough time to do? There might be a suggestion of diving into that to give yourself this break. If you can't physically remove yourself from a situation, a environment, if you can't take a trip, for example, if that's not within your means, then dive into those things that give you pleasure right now. Take action on those things. And it doesn't have to be perfect, and you don't have to know everything. Just take action with passion. Just be wary not to be too obsessive, because we want to do it with a lot of care and a lot of love and a lot of grace. We don't want to be rushing in and diving in and being obsessed with something, because then that just defeats the purpose of this rest. So if we're finding rest and we want to dive into these joys or these passions that we've maybe had a disconnect with, just make sure you're pacing yourself there and you're not being too impulsive or obsessive in this action. The 8 of Cups. So yeah, there is something that you need to walk away from right now. You need to step away from right now. And it might be something that is unfinished or you feel is unfinished. Let that be okay. Let the unfinished business be okay. In order to take a step back and to take that break, take that rest, because I feel like you've been doing a lot and you have been possibly striving towards a dream, striving towards some kind of magical vacation, and with that we know comes extra work. So we must pace ourselves, and that's kind of the feeling that I'm getting here. Because also too, messages in bottles, you put a message in a bottle and you put it out into the ocean. It could take years for that message to reach someone or to reach land. So this almost feels like a suggestion to take a moment to take that time out. Maybe it doesn't have to be a vacation, but stop what you're doing. You know, there might be some obsessive energy here. There might be this impulsive energy, and you're feeding into that a little too much right now. So we need to back up a bit. We need to pause, and we need to take a break in that action in order to come into a more balanced energy. And then we have the 8 of Wands in reverse. So because of this energy, we're feeling a little stuck, or it might make you feel like you're stepping back, or you're stopping, or you're losing momentum, or you're not doing anything. There's a discomfort that you're having with this idea of pausing, of stepping back, of stepping away, of taking a vacation. And you feel like you're going to lose momentum. It might feel like you are not progressing, you are not achieving. But rest is also achievement. Rest is very beneficial to helping you move along in a sustainable long-term way. If we rush through things, we either make mistakes along the way or we burn ourselves out. Turtle and the hare, right? So the hare went as fast as he possibly could to reach the finish line as fast as he could before the turtle could get there. But what happened was he burnt out halfway through, had to step off the track and have a nap because he was so tired. And because the turtle was slow and steady, he paced himself, he actually won the race, even though he was slower than the rabbit, logistically speaking. He paced himself. He took his time. He took one step in front of the other, and he eventually got to the finish line before the rabbit did, because the rabbit just burnt himself out. So this might be a little bit of a message there for you, is to pace yourself, to slow yourself down. It might feel like you're taking a step back or 2 steps back, but know that it is going to make things work better and more efficient in the long run if you do that, if you rest along the way, if you walk away from things that aren't working, if you put your energy into the things that make you feel passionate. So we're going to be clarifying these cards. What is the Four of Swords about? Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use this as a 5th card, and then that will be the clarifier for the 4. I like using odd numbers in cards. I don't know why. The 4 of Pentacles. This is, to me, this feels... it's about a balance of spending, saving, material, energy. It might need to be kind of paused at the moment, or we might need to, instead of exerting energy, we need to pull back on that energy a little bit. Again, coming back to this rest, we kind of start and end with that same energy. The fours talks about stability. So, and stability is all about balance, spending and saving, resting and working. So we're coming at it. There feels like your mind is a little bit worn down right now, and it's actually affecting your physical material world, whether it be finances, whether it be your home environment, your health possibly. So definitely something to take note of and to be aware of. The King of Swords, I feel like if you have this rest, if you dive into this rest, it will take you to a place where you become a little more clear about your way forward. It will help you navigate a lot better. It will really define your next steps, I guess, and will really master your mindset. You'll be able to master your mindset in order for you to move ahead and to forge on and to have the energy to continue to do that for the foreseeable future. So both swords here speak to communication, talking about this message. There seems to be a little trifecta here of messages, communication. So it might be that maybe you're in some kind of situation right now where you're over communicating, you're mentally exhausted, and we need to dial that in a bit. We need to balance that out, and we need to make sure that, we can get that in line so that we can move ahead and move forward and move on and not completely burn ourselves out. So let's see what this Knight of Wands is about. What's this Knight of Wands about? And what's interesting too, the King of Swords here has a boat, and there's just an association here. I don't know if that's a big association, but I feel like he's the captain of his ship. He has that energy about him that is a leader, and he is a leader in communication. He's a leader in his mindset, and he is tackling that with knowledge, with wisdom, with knowing when to work and when to rest, when to take vacations. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So because you are possibly putting your energy into too many places at once, or maybe you're being obsessive in one particular area, there could be a loss of opportunity here, which is maybe why this message is coming in, is that you aren't seeing this opportunity. You aren't able to sow the seeds, because as soon as you sow the seeds, you're onto something else. Or because you are so obsessed about that one seed, you're not seeing that the rest of the garden needs tending to. So kind of look at where you're focusing your energy and where you might be missing opportunities to find balance or to tend to other areas of your life. Because I feel like if you don't, there's going to be either a loss of opportunity or even a loss of material gains. That could be in the form of material energy, it could be money, it could be health, it could be environment, home, that kind of thing. So definitely pay attention to that. And the Eight of Pentacles is it came out as a clarifier, I guess, for this Ace of Pentacles. It kind of came out at the same time, so we're going to use that as the clarifier for that. And again, this talks about repetition. It talks about doing things over and over and over again. So this could either be a cycle that you've been putting yourself in or you're involved in, or it's something that you have been trying to master. Maybe it is a craft, a skill, some kind of knowledge that you're gaining, and you want to get really good at it. So you might be really obsessive about doing this. But don't forget, there is more than one way to do things. There's more than one way to achieve your goals. So definitely look at all those opportunities and to make sure, again, this feels like obsessive energy to me, and you're working really hard at it, which is a wonderful thing. But just stop to take a look around for a minute. That's kind of the feeling I'm getting with this reading. Okay, so Eight of Cups. What's this energy about? Okay, Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords. So there could be somebody around you that you're walking away from who is not very kind. And this could be the reason why you might be feeling, say, obsessive about work, is because you don't want to deal with this person around you. And that might be somebody you need to walk away from at this time. Somebody who is cold, who is really ruthless in their arguments and loves a good argument and will win no matter what. They are very cutting as well. So, and they're not very compassionate. They're just very to the point, but not in the best of ways. So this might require you to take action, either to confront this person and try to come to some sort of common ground, or to address the situation and not bury yourself in your passions, in your work, in the things that you're doing to avoid confrontation with this person. I get that this could be a person who is not, somebody who is welcome to confrontation or welcome to hearing somebody else's side, but it might be necessary, because maybe you just need to speak up a bit more to this person. Maybe this person does have some understanding and does want your side of things, but maybe you aren't communicating that in the way that you should. So maybe you have to walk away from the fear or the emotion of confronting this person, of having a conversation with this person. And confrontation doesn't have to be a scary thing. It can simply be a conversation. I say that, however, it all depends on the person that you're speaking to. If this person is closed off, if they're cold, if they are inherently cruel, then obviously it's going to be more difficult to have that conversation and to come to some sort of compromise or understanding. So I'll leave that up to you to take that how it resonates. It could also be the reason why you feel you need a rest, or why you feel mentally and emotionally fatigued at this time, is because of this particular person, or in the circumstance that you find yourself in where this particular energy is. So let's get a clarification on the Eight of Wands. Okay, no, we're not taking that many cards. So I'm just going to take the top one. So we've got another sword, but it was in reverse. Yeah. I feel like you're not speaking your mind. You are not being clear, or you're nervous about communication. Maybe it's you who needs to send a message in a bottle, or you who needs to send more emails, or to communicate more clearly, to even get a little vulnerable, because water is all about, and cups are all about emotion. And you might be putting up some barriers to prevent yourself from having to communicate those feelings, those vulnerable feelings. So, and that's almost the energy I get with her. She's walking away from the cups. So maybe you need to face it instead of walking away from it. That's an interesting twist. Because I feel like you know what you want to say, but you're just worried about the delivery of it. Possibly. Well, this is a very interesting read. It took an interesting turn here. We were talking about taking a rest and to not overindulge and be obsessive, and it feels, working through that discomfort of taking that break. But then it starts to get into kind of the communication and possibly the underlying reasons for all of this. Maybe it all comes down to communication. You have quite a number of swords. I would say that this energy is swords as well, because messages, communication is sword, air energy. Water is emotion. And yeah, I just feel like there needs to be a mastery of your mind and how you communicate to people in order to prevent this fatigue that you're feeling, in order for you to feel like you're going ahead 2 steps and then taking a step back, or this need to take a break. Maybe if there was a more balanced energy, a more balanced way of communication, of drawing boundaries. Boundaries are another thing to think about here. And again, boundaries with work, boundaries with people at work, boundaries with people around you, which may be draining your energy. This could be the reason for this. So there could be a lack of boundaries here, a lack of communication, and it's getting you stuck. It's making you feel like you're taking a step back, like you're not getting anywhere. Let's see what this Four of Pentacles is about. Okay, Ace of Swords. You're forging something new. And with this communication, with this rebalancing of energy, with taking a step back and kind of identifying the things that you need to tackle, take care of, address, confront, set boundaries with, I feel like you're going to be having a brand new start. You're going to forge something new, and it's going to be the beginning of something almost like a brand new way of thinking, a way of doing, a way of communicating even. I feel like that's the whole message of this, is communication. The root of this issue is communication, is mental clarity, maybe even mental health. Finding a balance, working through that, not having that fear of saying what's on your mind, of setting those boundaries, of disappointing people around you, of maybe a clashback of some kind. Interesting. So we're going to pull 4 more cards for advice and outcome. So with that, another sword. And I feel like if you are in this energy of feeling completely burnt out and completely done, it came out in reverse. So I feel like you're turning this around, especially with this Ace of Swords kind of ending your initial read. You're really coming into, as soon as you start setting those boundaries and start speaking your mind, even if your voice shakes, you're going to be releasing that burnout. And I love how this is just a gentle rest, and this is like a forced rest. So I feel like you're preventing that from happening by giving yourself the boundaries that you need to find that rest. And the rest, again, doesn't have to be a tropical vacation. Although, I feel like taking one right now with all of these, with the oracle cards that came out the way they did. All right, so, and the Five of Swords. You might disappoint some people along the way, but don't worry about it. You might have some conflict, you might have some disagreements with people, but don't let that stop you from taking care of you, from giving yourself the energy and the space to breathe, to be present, to have a voice, to have a say, to express yourself. And if that is something that you want to fight for, then fight for it. Don't let people overpower you in that way, or to tell you what needs to be done and how you need to be. Okay. All right, so 2 more cards for advice and outcome. We'll just grab one more while we're here. We'll just pull the top card for ease. And the Sun. So you are stepping into a very bright moment. You are going to see the great, beautiful side of this challenge that you might be facing at this time, this moment, this situation, this fear, confronting this fear. I feel like, you know, this is such opposite energy in a way, because we've got this dark, confrontational, disappointing energy, and then we're stepping into the sun and having a good time. So you're going to see the fruits of your labor in this. You're going to see the benefit of doing this, and you are going to be communicating a lot better in the future. And there might be some unexpected consequences. Some of the foundations that you have built relationships on, that you have built certain foundations on, might get a little rocked because you are making these changes for your greater good. So if those things fall apart in this process, I'm going to say let them. And they may get built up better after this, or they may completely fall apart and stay that way. But if the people and the things around you are going to crumble under this small change that you are making, expressing yourself, communicating, being your authentic self, then I'm going to say those people and those situations were not authentically supporting you in the way that you needed. And so they must fail, they must fall apart, because they were not for our greater good, and they never were for our greater good. So we must let them go, so that we can bring in new things, new people, new situations that are going to respect the boundaries, that are going to respect who we are, what we stand for. And just as long as this is coming from a place of authenticity, of kindness, of compassion, then nobody should have issue with your need to communicate better, to set your boundaries, to find a healthier mindset. And those that have a problem with it probably need to be let go of, because they were feeding off your kindness and the fact that you weren't confronting them, you weren't standing up for yourself, and we don't want any of that energy around us. We want to be able to be authentic with the people that we love and be in situations that make us feel good and that serve our greater good as much as the next person. Okay, so we'll get one or two clarifier oracle cards from this deck and another deck, to see if there's any other insight, advice, guidance. So there we go. I love that. Love begins. This could be a new a new love for yourself in this. There was no other one that came out, so I'm just going to leave it there. Grab another one from another deck. But it's a brand, like the Ace of Swords, this is a brand new beginning. You're equally nurturing yourself. You're among people that nurture you as much as you nurture them. You're nurturing your own garden, if you will. We talked about gardens earlier. Here's a garden. You are, yeah, there's just a great balance here. There's a balance of emotion. There's a serenity. There's a harmony happening here. And you are at the precipice of this at this moment in time. So we'll grab one card from this deck and then we will call this reading complete. One card. Okay, you get two. We didn't get two from the other one, but we got two from this one. So take a risk and venture forward. So this is the start of a brand new adventure for you. It may not be a physical adventure. It might be more of a personal development adventure, but it is an adventure nonetheless because it's uncharted territories. And I love how this ship is coming in again with this message in a bottle. We've got a lot of ship references here, which I love, a lot of water references. So step into this, take a little bit of a risk. It doesn't have to be great big swoops. It can just be little steps at a time on this. And venture forward, move forward. Because this Eight of Wands energy, which is all about movement, wasn't moving before, and now we're headed off on a new adventure. And vast vistas expand your horizons. So again, here we are with the ships, and this guy's stepping out of his box, stepping out of his comfort zone to take a path to this ship and maybe head on to this great adventure. So welcome to your new adventure of speaking your mind, of taking your place in the world and standing up for yourself and finding that balance of mind and emotion, of not being afraid to be who you are and to communicate. It might take time, but you'll get there. All right, so this was your reading, pile one. I hope you enjoyed. If this resonated with you, please give this video a like, subscribe to my channel to help my YouTube channel grow, and we will see you in your next reading. Bye, pile one. Hello, pile two. Welcome to your reading. So you chose Between Worlds with the number 3. This could be a birth month, a birth date, your lucky number, a spiritual number of some kind, a synchronistic number. My general feeling for this is that you are stepping into a new world, maybe stepping into a world of something that's a little more authentic, something that's a little more colorful for you, a little more exciting for you. You're stepping out of the shadows and into something brand new. I love that. So let's see what the cards have to say about that. Okay, we're gonna stop there. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait. Yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, here we go. Here we go. 4 of Wands. Celebration. You're coming out of one world and into another. That could be something to celebrate. That could be, I feel you might be coming into more stability in your life. It might not have happened quite yet, but you're in this transition phase of doing that. These women are setting up, preparing for a party, but they're not quite having the celebration yet. And 4s speak to stability. So, and 3s are actually, the number before stability. It could be you are currently in this in between You're in this transition phase of coming into this energy of happiness, celebration, but you're not quite there yet. So the second card that flew out was the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. So yeah, you haven't quite reached your happily ever after yet. And I love how the colors are syncing up here. This aqua color seems to be a pretty big deal in today's read. So that might have some significance for people out there. But you're not quite in, you haven't quite stepped into your happily ever after, your dream world yet. But I feel like you might be headed there. It just hasn't, you're in this in between worlds right now, like the card said. And it could be you are in preparation to get married. I just noticed that there was a crown or some kind of tiara on this flamingo. And that lady's wearing a flower. This lady is wearing something. Anyways, but when I see headpieces like that, I immediately think of bride or queen of some kind, of kind of a celebratory event. So this could be you preparing to get married or wanting to get married, in the preparation to get married, or, you know, whatever that happily ever after is for you, in community with people, in relationship with people. And the Ace of Swords. I feel like you're pretty clear on what you want here. You're pretty clear on what you want, and you know how to get stuff done. You know how to get it. So you are kind of forging ahead on that path. And I do get a sense that you're going to get there because of that clarity, because of the action, because I already see you transitioning between one world and the next. And the celebration, this happily ever after, it doesn't have to be marriage. So it could be just living the life of your dreams, whatever that might be for you. Living the lifestyle you want, having the business you want, having the children that you want, having the dogs or the cats or the animals, whatever that you want. You're really clear about this. And you are a master manifester. You have all of the tools that you need to get this done, to finally make this transition that you've been wanting to make from day one. And I love that you have 2 ones here. It is the start of, it is the beginning of that. It's the first steps into that new journey. And I'll put down the Fool here because the Fool is the start of that new journey. And man, I couldn't have created this any better, because you're coming out of a world or a place or a situation or a feeling that didn't serve you and that you weren't happy with, made you feel really held back or not great in some way. And I feel like you really worked hard. You put in the work to change that. You're making that change. And you're not quite, you might not be out of that world, but you're onto a new journey to make that world happen. Regardless of the fact that it hasn't come to fruition yet, you have this faith. You have everything. You've got all the resources that you need to follow you on this new journey. And you are not afraid to make mistakes. You are not afraid to get sidetracked. You are not afraid of anything. I have this no fear feeling. You have such a faith and such a desire to make it happen. So you're doing it. You're just doing it. So clarify this 4 of Wands, please. Let me clarify this 4 of Wands. Thank you. Page of Pentacles in reverse. So I feel you might have been tired with the same old, same old. You wanted to step out into a new adventure, but it required you to do a bit of assessment. Could be internally, but I feel like you really looked at your life and decided, this is not what I want to be doing. It's not how I want to be living. It's not how I want to be feeling. So I have to make a change. I want more stability in my life. I want to make my life more colorful. I want to be more clear. And I feel like you've really put in that work. And so now is this time where you're stepping into that transition. What is this Ten of Pentacles about? Thank you. Yeah, so Judgment in reverse. For a long time, I feel like you really resisted listening to that voice of yours, that internal call, resisted the change that you needed to make, because you maybe not have thought that you were deserving of it, or that you could achieve it. Maybe it is a huge goal, but I get the feeling you're just saying, F it, I'm gonna do it. And I don't care what anybody thinks. I don't even care what I think. I'm just gonna go for it. And I don't care if this is brand new. This is what my soul is telling me to do. So even though I don't know how to do it, or where I'm going, or when I'm gonna get there, I'm just going to start listening to myself and stop resisting that inner voice that says, go here, do this. Your soul will feel fulfilled if you do. Okay, Ace of Swords. Let's clarify that, please. Ace of Swords. Thank you. So you got the Moon, which is all about the subconscious. It's all about swimming in the dark parts of our subconscious to figure out, ask those heavy questions, to figure out what our intuition is actually trying to tell us without the influence of anybody externally, without the noise of the day-to-day world, without the noise of people telling us stuff. It is purely about what it is you want, and to figure that out, to figure out, why am I not listening to the call? What am I scared of? Why do I feel like I can't get to those dreams that I have, that I want? Why can't I get stability in my life? You know, asking those tough questions. And then coming to answers, coming to that clarity. I feel like you either did or are doing this work, which is helping you transition from this gray, dark world into something brand new. Sorry, friends, I had to take a break there for a minute and blow out my candle. I wasn't sure if it was the candle or I'm not feeling very well right now, but I will push through the rest of this reading. And I almost wonder if that's what forced you or pushed you or encouraged you to make that change, is that it wasn't making you feel very good. Maybe you were physically ill from this situation. I don't know. Okay, we're going to clarify the Magician. Thank you. And the Lovers, and it came out sideways. It was close to more upright than it was. So, yeah, upright than it was reversed, sorry. So I feel like this has to do with either a love for yourself and stepping into that love for yourself, working on loving yourself, which is changing your life in so many new ways. It could also be lovers in the sense of relationships. Doesn't have to be a romantic love. It could be partnerships. It could be any kind of relationships in your life. And that doesn't have to be a male and female partnership like this deck kind of depicts. It can be any relationship, any love relationship in your life. But I feel like you really want to manifest love at this time. You really want to manifest that appreciation and that love for yourself, that love for others, because you were tired of feeling so dark and gloomy. Whether it was about a situation or about yourself, you really wanted to change this mindset and make this shift and come into more of a stability for yourself. And that is going to change the world around you in so many good ways. The Fool. What's this about? Let's clarify the Fool, please. Thank you. So you're going to have some choices. And there are going to be some consequences, but don't let that get you stuck in moving forward. Don't let the smorgasbord of options, once you transition into this new place, overwhelm you. Because I feel there's going to be a lot more options on the table for you. As you work through this and transition into this new world, your life is going to be so full. And you also have to consider the things that you choose, are they for your greater good? Because any choices we make have consequences, whether they're good, whether they're bad. They could be very benign choices, but you know, they are choices that we make. Every single day we make choices. And are those choices, are those small choices and those big choices contributing to our greater good? Or are we getting ourselves back into old patterns? So let's clarify or get some outcome and advice for the last 3 or 4 cards here. I'm going to pull 4 cards for the outcome and advice. And let's just see. Let's start there. What was that? Page of Swords. Trying to keep these upright or reversed. So, yeah. Oh, there's one hidden there. So, Page of Swords. I feel like you're going to take no shit, if you will. You're going to come into this new energy with an adventurous spirit and with confidence too. And you're going to kind of let the wind take you, if you will. You're going to let go of control a little bit and kind of ease into this new life. It's going to be brand new for you. So you want to make sure that you have a little bit of a strategy in place, or at least some kind of plan, but you're also going to remain open-minded and flexible as things kind of unfold. And the King of Pentacles. You are going to really take care of yourself, your health, your home, the people around you. You want to make sure that they are taken care of and that you are taken care of in equal measure. You have mastered this. You have mastered your material world, in a sense. And you kind of know what things bring you joy, what things pull you down. And that is going to lead you to a very fruitful and fulfilling life. And I feel it will lead you eventually to this happily ever after energy that you are seeking in yourself and in others and in your physical world. And the 3 of Wands. You are going to, similar to this Page of Swords energy, where you're kind of letting things flow and letting things go where they may and keeping an open mind, adventurous spirit, but also remaining flexible. You are attracting the things that you want with your choices, with your energy, with your patience. I feel like you're going to be, or you are, very patient in this process, and Your ships are going to come in because of that, because you know what you want, because you know exactly how you want to feel and where you want to end up. You are going to take steps to making that happen, and your ships will come in. They will find you because you're following your inner guidance. You're following your instinct. I'm going to pull one more for outcome and advice. And then we're going to pull some oracle cards. I didn't see this one flip, but it felt like it flipped. Yeah, so you're releasing burdens. You're following that inner guidance, and you're also releasing burdens in the process. You are no longer allowing your past, other people's feelings about something, emotions about something, to dictate where you go and what you do and how you feel. You are taking control, you are taking charge, but without having a stranglehold on it, without having kind of a really tight grip on and rigidity about what you need and what you want. This is where I'm at. I'm flexible in how I get there, but this is what I need. This is where I want to go. So there's kind of a beautiful this flowing, wonderful energy about it, where you're just kind of letting the cards fall where they may. You're following your passion. You might not know where it's taking you, but you're following it and just trusting. There's this kind of letting go. I'm feeling like a big sigh of relief. Even though you're in the unknown, you're in a brand new world, it doesn't matter, because this is one of your making, your creation, and you're loving wherever it might take you. Okay, so final oracle cards today. I feel that one was trying to come out. Let's see if any other card jumps out. If not, we'll pull from the next oracle deck. Okay. So you got Prosperity Begins. Here we are at a brand new cycle. You're planting seeds. You're helping these things grow in abundance. You are seeing the fruits of your labor. You are transforming with these butterflies here. You are nourishing yourself. You're nourishing the things that you want to see in your life. And it is bringing you beautiful, beautiful things. Wow. That's such a lovely oracle card to kind of round out your reading here. Okay, let's get one or two cards from this, and then we'll close out your reading. Okay, there's one, and there's two. All right, so your first one that came out was Crossing Bridges. It's time for healing, connection. If I can read, it's time for healing, connecting, mending, and releasing. So that could be what you're doing right now. And again, you're transitioning from one side of the bridge to the other. You're following your inner guidance to take you there. You don't know what's on the other side, but you're just following it and letting it take you to where it needs to go. And you're healing in the process. You are connecting, you are mending and releasing things that no longer serve you. And then faraway places, get ready for new horizons. This might not mean a physical travel to faraway places, but I feel like you are going from a very familiar, comfortable place to a place that you've never been before. And it is a new horizon, a new place, a new space full of beautiful things, new adventures, new people, new situations, all because you decided to make some changes in your life. And these changes, I feel, are paying off, or will pay off if you're not quite there yet. So my beautiful pile 2, I hope this reading resonates with you. It was a beautiful reading. If you like this reading, please give this video a like. Subscribe to my channel to help the YouTube channel grow. And we will see you in your next reading. Bye, pile 2. Hello, pile 3. Welcome to your reading. You chose the Treasure Island associated with the number 9. 9 could be a lucky number for you. It could be your birth month or your birth date. You could have some other association with this card. I get a lot of tropical vibes from this. I get luck, maybe travel, sanctuary. I'm curious what this reading is all about, and I have to not necessarily apologize, but I had to blow out my candle because I was in pile 2. I was feeling quite nauseous, and I wasn't sure if it was the candle or I'm just not feeling well. So I blew it out just in case it was the candle that was not making me feel well. But I went and laid down for a bit, and I'm back to do this last pile. So hopefully we don't have any waves of nausea through this one. All right, so let's see what the cards have to share with us today. Okay, so let's stop there and get into your cards. So Ace of Pentacles. Sowing the seeds of something new. Abundance, material abundance. I also get that feeling from this as well. So I almost get the sense that whatever you're manifesting at this time, you're starting to see the results of that manifestation. The kind of the, what do I want to call it? Bringing your dreams into fruition. And your positive thinking is really starting to pay off. And those manifestations, those dreams that you have are really starting to blossom right now because of those seeds that you sowed. Maybe some new opportunities are coming in. I also get opportunities from this treasure chest here. So it's got very similar energy here. Luck, opportunity. Yeah, manifestations coming to fruition. And we have the Three of Wands in reverse. So interestingly enough, the Three of Wands is about waiting for your ships to come in, or bringing those ships in with your guiding light. But there might be some possible hang-ups to maybe these manifestations are starting to come to life, but then you come across a bit of a snag. You come across a bit of a bump in the road where these things aren't quite turning out the way you expected them to. There might be a delay. I get the sense of delay in these manifestations coming to life. They're not going to be happening immediately. You might be required to wait a little bit longer for these manifestations to come in. And the Queen of Cups, it's all about balancing the emotional journey as much as it is manifesting things at this time. So knowing what is yours and what is someone else's, what to pick up and what to put down, and to not only nourish yourself, but to nourish others around you at the same time. And also to not to nourish too much of others or too much of yourself. There's this balance that needs to happen in order for you to have kind of a healthy balance of emotions and not get too overburdened with other people's stuff and not feel overexpended by caring for others too much around you, or caring too much for others around you. But also don't forget about taking care of yourself as well. There might even be a sense of not enough here, and maybe that's what's causing the delay. We'll clarify that in a bit here. But the Two of Cups, it's about alchemy. It's about, again, that balance, that yin and that yang, that yin and yang energy. and a coming together, a chemistry that's happening. This could be in a love relationship or some kind of relationship in your life that is a very close relationship. It's a very harmonious relationship. There is a chemistry happening here that is allowing you to bring these beautiful dreams and manifestations to life. And that might be part of the delay here as well, is not only this feeling of not enough, but possibly waiting for this connection to happen and coming into this balance of energy and figuring that out before you are able to attract the appropriate person or the appropriate connection in your life. Whoops. And the Five of Swords. You could be up against some things right now as well. Some difficult people, some difficult circumstances or situations. I feel like they're minor though. They're not going to put you off track, but you do need to be mindful of the things that you're fighting about. Again, coming back to this Queen of Cups energy, are you putting too much energy into this fight, into this conflict? Are there better ways to spend your energy and time? Is this a fight that you need to fight, that should be fought, that should be challenged, if you will? It doesn't necessarily have to be, hopefully not a physical fight, but it doesn't have to be a kind of a battle, you know, but a battle with people, a really difficult conflict. It could just be disagreements. And so there is a wonderment of, do these disagreements need to happen? Can you agree to disagree in order to come into this energy of manifestation and not get caught up in the disappointments and the conflict and the kind of challenging energy that this Five of Swords brings? This could be difference in communication styles. There could just be miscommunications happening, and that could happen in this particular connection here. Even though it starts out harmonious, there could be some disconnects down the road, which you might need to be mindful of, that could potentially throw you off your path or kind of delay things for you in some way. All right, so we're going to start clarifying these. Ace of Pentacles. Let's get a clarifier for the Ace of Pentacles. Thank you. So this is about strength, and you need to come into your strength and offer yourself a little bit of compassion. And you see she's tending to the lion's wound, and the lion is letting her. This isn't necessarily her and a physical lion. It's more about her tending to her own hurts, her own pains, and being very compassionate to healing those. And that takes time and a lot of strength to do. So this might be a suggestion for you in order to kind of find these possibilities, these opportunities, and to allow yourself to open up to those and to bring in these manifestations that you're wanting to create for yourself, is to not only find the strength to persevere, and persevere no matter what, whether good nor bad. So, and again, it comes back to this like infinity energy of no matter what, of persistence and constantly showing up with that strength, regardless of what challenges, obstacles might be in front of you, and finding a way to heal your old wounds, to give yourself some compassion on the things that you've experienced or gone through, and to be really fair with yourself, especially in times of challenge. All right, so the Three of Wands. Let's clarify the Three of Wands. Thank you. So we've got the Ten of Pentacles in the upright position, which means that you're trying to manifest the life of your dreams. You're trying to manifest your happily ever after. And I feel like there's a bit of a delay in that, and it could be because of these old wounds that need to be healed first in order for you to start attracting those things that you want. There could be, you know, when we're in old energy, or when we're carrying around old energy that is from the past, it can be quite a burden to our spirit, and it can really subconsciously inform how we take action without us even being aware of it. So how are your old wounds informing your action, and how is that feeding into your manifestations? Are there some beliefs about yourself that you've been hanging on to that you kind of need to deal with or face? Maybe that's what this conflict is about, is not conflict with others, possibly conflict with self, or conflict in trying to find this connection, this harmony, this treasure, if you will, and possibly the worthiness, your worthiness in getting it. Is there a sense of worthiness or unworthiness, and why? That might be something you need to work through and heal in order to step into this beautiful Ace of Pentacles energy here. Queen of Cups, what is this energy about? Thank you. So that's more reverse than not. So it is the Fool and in reverse. So because there's a bit of an imbalance of energy, possibly a feeling, or sorry, pardon me, I take that back, not an imbalance of energy, but there is a resistance to doing something new or unfamiliar, about making mistakes. You're worried about making mistakes. And there's a bit of perfectionism happening, I feel. Like things have to be perfect and spot on in order for them to work out or for you to be successful. I'm here to tell you, you don't have to be fully healed in order to experience life. Just as long as you're aware and you're working towards those things that you want to change and those things that you want to manifest, that's all you can really ask for. So don't think that you have to be perfect, that you have to not make mistakes in the future in order to find happiness, in order to find your treasure. You can still have that. It's just a matter of taking care of yourself, about nurturing yourself, giving yourself that compassion for the process of working through that, and being transparent, being a little vulnerable in the process. Vulnerability is okay, and that might be something that needs to be, or that is required right now in order to open yourself up. So 2 of Cups. We've got 6 of Wands in reverse. So you've done some work, but you're not seeing rewards yet. Again, that's the same, very similar energy as the 3 of Wands. And so you're really hesitant to kind of move forward. Or you feel unrecognized in some way, unrecognized by the people around you, possibly the people that you're connected with, in relationship with. Ego could be playing a part here. But I ask you, are you looking for external validation for the sake of external validation? Or because, again, coming back to this unworthiness, you know, do you feel like you're not worthy of celebration, or you're not worthy of these gifts or these manifestations? And are you looking for others to almost give you permission to be happy, or live your dreams, or manifest the things that you want, or to give you compassion or fairness? Are you looking externally for that when actually you need to work on doing that for yourself? That might be the key here. Again, coming back to the strength, where she's giving herself or her lion friend what it needs. What is it that you need to step into this energy of alchemy, of manifestation, of the life of your dreams, of opportunity? Don't look externally for that. It's time to go inside and to offer that up for yourself. I also get disappointment from the Six of Wands as well, like something didn't work out or something didn't turn out the way you expected it to. You put in some hard work and it failed. And so there's a bit of disappointment there. Could be in relation to this Two of Cups. All right, let's clarify the Five of Swords. So I see a card sticking out. We'll grab that if nothing else flies out. And you got the Six of Swords. So you're moving away from conflicted energy, whether it's with people, whether it's with yourself, your inner world. You're starting on a new journey. You're resistant to it because you doubt. You've been disappointed in the past. And while you've brought a positive attitude to the table, you've done all of the things you need to do to manifest, it's not happening. But let that be okay, because you are moving beyond it. You are going to find some kind of, I want to say help. Maybe it's a book, maybe it's a YouTube video, maybe it's some kind of guide or mentor that is going to help you get beyond this. Kind of showing up and asking these tough questions about why can't you, what is there anything underlying that I need to look at or churn up or deal with? Are there things that I haven't dealt with that I need to deal with? And I feel like that's going to happen. Because I feel like you really want to, but there's a bit of resistance, there's a bit of doubt. So let's remove that. Let's find a way to remove that doubt so we can get to our treasure island. So we're going to pull 3 or 4 cards for, I'm going to do 4 for advice and outcome. Advice and outcome. 2 of Pentacles flipped here. So you've been doing a good job at balancing all of these things. And again, we have the infinity symbol. So do we want to be doing this forever? Probably not. Do we want to be stuck in this cycle of pedaling so hard, you got to keep yourself above the clouds. You got to keep yourself from falling. You're pedaling, you're going, and you're doing it infinitely. Forever. And do we want to do that forever? No. We want to get to a place of enjoying the rewards of our labor. We want to get to the place of enjoying the people around us without conflict. We want to get to a place of peace and flow and ease. So ask yourself, what does that look like for you? If you stopped pedaling for a moment, what would that mean? What if you were to take a moment to bask in the treasures that you currently have? Be grateful for what you have and maybe not strive for more. That's an interesting little twist too. But I feel a little bit of healing work needs to be done. And some inner conflict needs to be resolved. A few more cards for final messages. One more. So let's see, one more. Let's see if anyone jumps out. If not, we'll just pull from this one. I feel like it was trying to fly out. All right, we'll go with that one. So the Knight of Cups in reverse. Yeah, you have to find a way to master your emotions or not let your emotions get the better of you, or at least dictate how you behave, how you act. There might be a bit of an imbalance of emotions, and again, coming back to this Queen of Cups, she's all about balance. She's all about kind of keeping things in check and nurturing people around her, nurturing herself. So coming into that Queen of Cups energy, you know, what does that look like for you? Emotional balance, and what's preventing you from getting that at this time? There might be a resistance to mastering your emotions, or not letting your emotions kind of guide you. And two, questioning what are those emotions that are guiding you right now. Maybe it has nothing to do with balancing or mastering, but just simply inquiring about what emotions are guiding you at this time. And the World. So it's a cycle, and I feel like you're coming to the end of that cycle. You have kind of worked through all of the seasons of this particular process, and you will come to the end of the cycle of, not manifesting for one reason or the other, and learning to manifest what it is that you truly want, and get a better understanding of what that looks like. Maybe you have a little bit of unclarity is not a word, a lack of clarity about what it is you want and what those opportunities and goals look like at this time. So, what getting out of this cycle means addressing the things that you need to address, healing the things that you need to heal, and just being aware of what that cycle is for you, and knowing when to stop and when to make new decisions. And the Four of Pentacles in reverse. So it's about stability and you not having the equal balance of energy out there. Spending, saving, work, play, maybe even a balance or an imbalance of energy in the relationships around you, which is preventing you from manifesting the things that you want, preventing you from getting into this energy of gratitude, of achieving your dreams, of stepping into an energy of compassion. Maybe there's somebody around you that's kind of throwing you off balance a bit. But look at also too your home. Is that a comfortable energy? Is that a space that you feel good in? Is it tidy? Is it clean? Is it joyful? Are you surrounded by things that make you feel good and kind of spark inspiration? Maybe that physical world needs to be looked at just as much as your financial world needs to be looked at as well. That could be playing a part in this too, is, maybe you are having some financial questions right now about your financial future, about wanting to have more than you have, and how do you attract that? How do you get that? And so I would look at your relationship with money. Again, coming back to the relationship, where have you been having some struggles, and what kind of things are you resistant to when it comes to money? Coming back to this Three of Wands in reverse, that worthiness, what do you feel like you're worth and why? And do you feel like you're worthy of treasure? Do you feel like you're worthy of all the silver and gold in the world and all of the things that you dream about? And why or why not? So I'm going to pull a few oracle cards, and then we'll close your reading for today. One oracle card. Let's do one oracle card for pile 3, please. All right, so they're quiet tonight. Let's try again. Let's see, one or two. Let's do one or two oracle cards from this deck for pile 3, please. All about their treasures, their dreams, their manifestations. So I feel like this is, I feel like you might have experienced a bit of a heartbreak, maybe a disappointment in love, which is maybe what this is talking to. or just a disappointment in any kind of realm in your life. It doesn't have to be a relationship, but maybe that has had you doubting the fact that you can get what you want. You know, maybe you thought you had the dream, and then you had a tower moment where things kind of fell apart, and you then questioned, well, I manifested that and I got it, but then I lost it. So, you know, what now? That can really throw you off balance. But there is a suggestion here to show up with some strength and to move beyond that. Know that each situation and each person is different. And how are you showing up in this cycle, in this situation with this new person? Are you showing up with the same habits, the same behaviors, the same actions? Or are you showing up with new actions, new behaviors that are going to manifest a very different outcome? Okay, so a couple more cards. Let's see, we'll get 2 cards from this one. Well, there's 1. Okay, and 2. So view from above, get the big picture. So this tells me that you need a bit of perspective. You need to take a step back, a step beyond, and look at the big picture. And, you know, sometimes we need to talk to people to get that perspective. Sometimes we need to inquire by reading books, by looking to other people's experiences. But instead of being so ingrained in the detail and in the moments that disappointed you or didn't go right, try taking a broader perspective, taking a step back. And this could mean physical distance as well, because sometimes it's really hard, especially if we're in the same environment every day, if we're in the same routines every day. It's really hard to get perspective when we're still kind of stuck in that cycle, the everyday cycle that kind of got us to that place. So how can we break the routine a little bit and get that perspective? Maybe we shake up our routine in some way. It could be small, it could be big, it could be taking a different route to work, it could be going to a park at lunch instead of sitting in the office. It could be taking a trip somewhere for a week or a few days just to gain a little bit of distance from the situation. And this might be a suggestion, but get ready for new horizons. I feel like once you get this perspective, or maybe even once you travel beyond, like physical travel might do you good, then you're going to start to see things a little bit differently and move past this energy that's kind of making you feel stuck, not good enough, doubting yourself, maybe even stressing you out, and not allowing you to step into your treasures, your gold. Maybe it's even fear that's holding you back, fear of the unknown or fear of making the same mistakes. But it's just as long as you're aware of that, then you most likely will be aware when those mistakes are about to happen and you can catch yourself in it or find ways to rectify it or work through that. And there is a suggestion too of challenging your limitations and also taking a bit of a risk. Because if you kind of stay stuck in this energy where you're not getting what you need, you're not getting what you want, and you're in this really down energy, then you're only going to stay stuck in that cycle, stuck in that energy. So by opening the door to new opportunity, by opening the door to learning, to making mistakes, to taking a little bit of risk in these new things, I feel like you're going to eventually come across your treasure and move beyond this place of stuckness, of doubt, of fear, of heartache. So, pile 3, this was your reading. I hope it resonated in some way. If it did, please give this video a like, subscribe to my channel to help the YouTube channel grow, and we will see you in your next reading. Bye, pile 3.